Everybody, today I came out and wanted to just hang out with God, me and him for a minute, and it's kind of interesting. I just got a little lazy and decided that I would sit down where the chair was. You're not really thinking about anything, and if you can see, the chair is next to a very stinky location. And so I kind of muscled through and sat through it to a point where I kind of got used to the smell. And then I smelled something else. I smelled something that smelled good. And it kind of pierced the stench of the garbage, which was kind of nice to have that pierce. And when I smelled the fire and smelled something that smelled good, all of a sudden I started to recognize the stench of what I was sitting next to again. And God spoke to me clearly in that, which was weird because I wasn't expecting him to speak through the stench of garbage. But he told me that, if you're going to sit yourself down and be lazy, and put yourself next to garbage or in the midst of garbage or listen to garbage or watch garbage, then you're going to smell garbage. And the scent will eventually get to the point where you don't even notice you're sitting in front of, next to, or listening to garbage. But if you choose not to be lazy and to move to a location that smells a little better, you might smell an incense that is encouraging to you, an incense that smells better to you. For me, the smell of smoke encourages me to go cook something. That's weird, but that's what I do. But the interesting thing is, look at the total difference between the stench of garbage and the stench of fire for me. No, not the stench, but the smell of fire for me. You see, God wants us to spend time with him. He wants us to stop wasting it on other things, but to spend time with our children, our wives, our families, our friends. But we are supposed to spend time in him, with them, and then sometimes we're just supposed to spend time just with him. All of those things are important, not just one. And so I encourage you today to recognize the stench that is around you and why there's a stench around you. Look at those things that are getting in the way and making a smell that is not really what you need in your life. And look at what you've grown accustomed to smelling. Look at what you've grown accustomed to listening to or watching. I was at someone's house here recently, and this is not a slight on them. This is a normal thing for our society, but they turned on a show and they were encouraged to teach us about the show, and so we go to watch the show, and I'm just as guilty as anyone else. But it was funny because the show was so terrible. I mean, it was horrible, and I knew that they wanted me to see the show in a good light, but I couldn't help but kind of make this face the whole time I'm watching it. And I felt guilty about that because I was really trying to not be obvious about the fact that I was totally disturbed by what I was watching. Eventually, I just got up and walked away and, kind of slid out of the room. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if I should have caused a big stink. I mean, the point really is, I was amazed that they were able to watch it, that they were able to sit through it. I'm just as guilty. Not even yesterday, I'm telling a story from my past. And as I'm telling a story from my past, I recognize I can't even tell the story anymore because I feel such a weight on me for who I used to be. But I'm still telling the story. And so I'm starting to realize, we can make our own stench. And, that's bad. I don't know. I guess the biggest thing that I'm learning today is, what do people smell when you walk around? Do they smell the stench of garbage? Do they even notice the stench? Do you notice your own stench? Or do they smell the incense of something godly, something positive, something good? That's only for us to decide, really. I mean, you'll never really listen to someone else tell you that. The only time you'll ever be able to understand it is when you really start to evaluate yourself on your own. That's what God gave me today, guys. Love y'all. God bless.